Morning guys, hope everyone's keeping well, hope everyone's doing alright. Yeah, so here we go, stage 1 of June's ZRacing series, Scapes I think they're calling this one. So yeah, this one, in theory, when this was the old A, B, C, D cats, I used to do alright on this course. I think I've had a couple of seconds, a couple of thirds, usually top 10 places. But I think this is the first time I've raced it since the new Zwift Races score, so we'll see how this goes. 26 in here in a minute. I think there was about 20 odd signed up for this in Zwift Power, so let's see how that goes. Right. As usual, a little bit of messing about to get started. Right, get the fun on, get the music up. Here we go. Yeah, but I didn't spot anyone I recognised in here earlier, so. Six laps. So let's see. You'll have to watch that next time. Looks like there might have been a bit of a selection there, look. Only 10 here now. do you reckon? Anyone go on second and last lap? Amazing. Oh, that is, Jesus Christ. Oh man. Hey, cheers Lee. So mate. Yeah. Thought about the Swifty move, but decided against it. I think maybe that was a better choice. The guy that took me on the sprint line, I think I managed to take him by the end, but the Chinese guys who came flying past me. But you know what, 2.8, I think I was quite efficient there. Ah, cheers mate, yeah. Do you know what, that actually wasn't too bad. The first few laps of that were fairly mellow actually. But yeah, and the other one on 2.8 is this guy here, yeah. This guy was, this guy and this guy were at the back with me for most of that, I think. Makes sense. They're on 2.8, 2.9. But fair dues, Chen, mate. 3.5. Must be a light ride there, I reckon. But yeah, I'll take that second. Let's have a look at the damage, shall we? Let's just take this a nice inco and then I'll look. Let's just set the dummy, shall we? I mean, power wise, I wasn't smashing it out really. In fact, not at all really. I thought I was taking it fairly chill, to be honest. Cheers Lee, thanks for dropping in mate. If you're racing this one later, have a good one mate. Yeah, yeah, same as you. You normally do alright on this one mate, don't you? I think. It's definitely one for the punchers, mate. Thanks for dropping in, mate. Look after yourself. Right, let's assess the damage. Yeah, so I mean, I'm well down, but that said, it's that time of year. A lot of people are riding outside, aren't they? Well, especially this neck of the woods. So yeah, I'll take that. Happy with that. Okay. Cheers guys. Thanks Lee for dropping in, mate. Always very much appreciated. Messing about with buttons again as usual. But yeah. Cheers guys. I've got a stupidly I've signed up for an army race tonight, so that's going to be hard for old Evo. It's New York Rising Empire, and it's a Mascat army race, UK Armed Forces race. So it's yeah, I suspect I'm going to get dropped fairly early, and it's just going to be a case of trying to find someone to ride around with, really, I suppose. Oh, hey, it's all good type 2 fun, isn't it? Everyone, look after yourselves. Have a great Monday. Take care. Till the next one. Cheers, guys. Ta.